Hello everybody, welcome to another little Let's Build here of Drift Jacker, or as apparently they call it in Korea, Drift Peacock, which did not even notice that name difference till I was looking at the box and I was like, wait, what? Because, what is it? This B-Daman goes by like many different names. I've seen I've seen people call it Drift Jaku, I've seen Drift Jacker, and then I guess in the SonoKong release they call it Drift Peacock, which, very interesting, name changes, quite a few of them. His user, though, in the anime was Asuka Kami, which I hope that's the same name across all the media platforms. I don't know at this point. So many of them are different. But this is actually, I guess, before we open it up, let's take a look at the box, actually. So this does actually use a really interesting core type, where you can rotate the rubber strip on it. It reminds me of Koenig Cerberus, where you can twist around and mess around with the cool little concepts. This is actually based off of Super B-Daman. I forget which one specifically. It's probably a mix between Stag and Koenig Cerberus, to be honest. Is probably the best way to describe it. But you have this cool little tilting function, which allows you to supposedly curve the ball. I don't know how well that's going to work out. Guess we'll give it a shot in the later on part of this video here. But it's a very interesting designed B-Daman. And of course you have all the accessories and stuff like that. I don't have a barrel on me, but I guess I could see if I can find my, magazines. I don't know, it's a very weird B-Daman. It's kind of one of those weird typing ones or whatever. So, I'm kind of interested to see how this works out. Apparently it has a fit grip to it and stuff like that. It talks about Brake Bomber on the side. I'd love to get this version of Brake Bomber. I love the little blockade blocks and everything. It is kind of hard, though, getting that version of Brake Bomber, though. And more about the core, which is a very interesting design core. It's not like the usual, Crossfight cores or whatever, which is kind of weird, but I don't know. Crossfight experimented with cores a lot more than other B-Daman series, because if you look at something like Battle, which kind of used very basic type of cores and stuff like that, this one did not. This one actually kind of experimented a lot more. I guess that's very common in B-Daman series. Battle is just the weird one out, because what is it? Super experimented with cores quite a bit. It also didn't experiment with cores in a way. I don't know. You can also say the same thing about CF, because there's like a little line of Penguin ones that existed before this like series officially started. And same with Super with the Bomber line. So, at some point there's always just like this basic method, and then they kind of update the core structure. Which, I guess it happens in all B-Daman series, to be honest. Well, Crash might be the only one that doesn't happen to. Crash and Metal. Though, I have not looked into Metal. I don't know much about Metal, so it's one of the weirder series things. There's nothing else in the box, so time to put the box away and start looking at this cool B-Daman here. So let's look at what we all got here. So we got our little plastic runners, the usual types here. Very cool, interesting colors though, and we got this weird little piece right there. Don't know what that's all about, but I guess we'll find out once we start building that all together. Got a very interesting trigger style as well, so very interesting design. So, we got our usual sticker sheet, which has some very interesting sticker designs. A not dark deep blue marble. Wow, that's very weird. That's the first time I've seen this in a Crossfight set. So, oh, look this up. Yeah, it's a regular B-Daman instead of the deep colored one. That's kind of interesting. For those who don't know, see, here's another one. Here's a standard B-Daman. They're both about very similar colors instead of compared to, let's see, do I have one near me? I do! Sweeches. Let's take compared to a regular Crossfight B-Daman, which is usually a darker shade of, usually a darker color. This one's actually more of a standard B-Daman that came with, like, the other type of, the other series. I was more expecting like one of these darker ones that was more standard at the time. So that's very interesting. I wonder if that's normal in all of the, SonoKong series. ES would start going back to this type of marble, so maybe it's possible that they went back to this style. Though SonoKong did have some weird releases with the Crossfight line. For example, you can find Crossfight sets with Battle B-Daman in them that SonoKong released. Like, SonoKong was doing their own thing for a while there with Crossfight era. So, like, you can see, like, sets with, like, Crossfight era things with Battle Beat-em-on in it. Because SonoKong was just reusing the molds they had to build whatever. Which is insane to think about that. So, like, you can find sets with, like, Helio Breaker and stuff like that. And, like, Cobalt Blade. And, like, a Break Bomber set. And then you can see, like, what is it? Versions of, like, Dracian and, like, Battle Beat-em-on sets. It's kind of weird design. But that was SonoKong. They were very much that weird sort of company. Oh, I'm dropping the marble, apparently. Which is fine, because I own, like, 500 of these things, but still. But, it is very interesting to see, like, that whole, like, unique style just be used in that sort of way. This is a special core, apparently, so that you probably already figured that out by looking at how weird this gimmick is, to be honest. Now, let's take a look at the instructions here. So, it looks like it'd be sort of the same build process. We still got the power block and stuff like that, and all of its weird concepts. And we get to build this weird core, which is going to be very interesting to build, to be honest. It'll be exciting to look into this whole build structure. But of course, we have to stop the video to take these all off the trays and trim them up and everything. So we'll be back in a minute to show off all this fancy stuff. Okay, so we are back. I did trim all the pieces and everything. I also went and grabbed one of these little screwdrivers. This is from the ES line. So instead of the, where is it? I took it out of the runner. So here's the basic one that comes with the sets or whatever. Not my favorite. These are very thin and scraggly. Don't really like them. These ES ones are nice, thick boys, and very good, very nice. So if you are building some CF ones, I recommend at least getting one of the ES guys so you can get a better screwdriver piece. So there's a lot of cheap ES ones. I know that for a fact. I paid like $4 for one of my ES ones. So let's start the building process, which I have the instruction manual in my lap. I mainly have it so that I can actually figure out how to build the core, because the core is a very unique piece, to be honest. So let's get into the build process here. So first off, we need our fancy hold parts, and we need the backing of the core. Oh. As I'm dropping stuff, apparently. Trying to keep whatever in my lap, so to make sure that I actually doing this right and correct. Is that how it's supposed to be? Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's actually take a look at this little core piece here. So this is actually a very unique design. I wonder if it can hold 2 marbles at once and shoot them out. I don't know, I guess we'll find that out. Kind of curious on how that works now. I'm like, there's some very interesting design elements to it. So you see these little teeth pieces right here? They're supposed to go upwards, not downwards. I didn't even notice that until I was looking at it properly. So there we go. Those teeth are supposed to go up instead of down. So make sure when you're building that to actually have that in the right direction. Don't be like me, y'all. Oh, and where did we put the trigger mechanism? Right there. I see it now. Okay. So now we can slide the trigger in, which is a very nicely designed trigger piece. It actually has a little middle supporting bracket and everything. Very nice indeed. And now we just push it forward, and it's gonna be like those DHB builds, which you've probably, I don't know if you all seen on this channel or not, but these just kind of just slot on in. Though unlike the DHB types, what is it? You have to twist them. I hate doing the twisting part of the DHB builds. Those always worry me. If you all ever had to build DHB, you have like so many little things that just don't feel like they're stable or secure. And like they are perfectly fine, but it's like it's always weird when you have to like twist it and it's like doing all the creaking noises and stuff like that. Oh, as I drop the piece that I'm currently building, because I'm doing great today. Well, great this night because I'm recording very late into the night. So, very nice little trigger mechanism. Very nice. It's a elongated trigger, which, not like Drasros long, but pretty decently long. We'll stream Drasros. I haven't had much experience with regular Drasros, but we start building the rest of this fun set here. So now we're going to move onwards to the next wonderful pieces, apparently. So we're going to need this little barrel piece. We're going to need the little rubber piece from this bag right here, which, really be careful with this. And it's a nice transparent rubber piece. The worst nightmare for me. I probably should have trimmed it as well. Ooh. It's never fun when I see these little things not have a piece trimmed out of them. And next up, we gotta find where's the piece that holds it all in? So, let's see. By the looks of it, maybe I grabbed the wrong one. Yeah, I did. Trying to figure out all the pieces I'm needing to grab here. So, here we go. This is the one we're actually kind of needing way more. I'm trying to keep up with reading whatever pieces here. And is that other piece supposed to be put in there? These are so weirdly not helpful as a... Okay, so these two pieces actually go together. So let's first put this weird little thing in here, which, by the looks of it, we just kind of take this off. Let's see. Take off the little rubber nub piece to it because it doesn't have the nub on there. And now we're just gonna slide it on in, I'm guessing. Might be going the other way around. So it's always fun when you have to do these really tiny pieces and they just don't like sliding in the way that you're trying to hope for. Okay, there we go. We got our nice clear little rubber piece in there. It's kind of funny that is a red coloring instead of the usual like black strips or whatever that I'm very much more used to seeing. So it's very interesting to see a much more clear rubber bread piece. And then we want to take the bread piece. So we want this upwards. And then we're wanting to have this piece downwards. And how does this all connect nicely? We're having the true fun experience here of being a dumb American. Well, I am. Y'all are probably way smarter than me at this point. And you're probably like screaming at me like, do better. And it's like, I'm not doing great. See, it's just not helpful as how it's explained. Okay, so it's wanting me to push these parts down. See, everyone's gonna have this fun part of watching me trying to shove pieces into pieces here. Okay, here we go. Finally got it done. Do I need to shove that in a bit deeper in there? I don't know if I do. I don't know how far deep this is supposed to go in. But, it seems like that's the proper location. Because it's all slot in properly. So the idea is you have to push these little inner tabs down a bit more. And then this will finally clip on and grab onto them properly. Don't know if I have it pushed in far enough. Like I said, they don't really give good pictures on this one. So let's slot it into the next fun step here, which is this little core piece, which we're going to... This is wanting to slide on out too. It is built... Oh, is that... Did that finally click into place properly? Is that how that's... Oh, I see how this works. Okay, so... let's see if I can get this to slide. There we go. Okay. So I was right about that earlier. So this middle center piece is supposed to push in way further in and click into place, which it finally did. And the instructions are not helpful with how that is described at all. And then once you have it clicked in, you can finally layer this blue piece in there, which this gray piece will hold on and lip around it. So that is a very weird construction there. And now we could take our little front piece here, which, there it is, very unique. Little, how's this going to be going in? How to look back and forth, I'm like, ooh. How are we clipping all this fun in? Okay, there we go. So, these clips on the sides, just clip over each one. There's little lips to the little front piece there. And now we want to take the fun of our core and just slide this all in. As you see there, there's a little railing that's on the inside for these little gray pieces right here. And you can just click it on in and just have a grand old time. Let's take a look at the core though before we get too far into it. So now we have this little mechanism all built into place. And now we can actually turn it in different directions to at least have the drive strip move around. This little bottom piece blocks it, so you don't get that full rotation like you did with the original, like, was it Koenig Cerberus type B-Daman? Because I've seen videos of him where it has, like, full rotation, but, maybe it doesn't have full rotation. I don't know. I do not have a Koenig Cerberus yet. But it is very interesting that they kind of don't let you have, was it? A full-on, like, spin at the bottom. You only get the back spin and a left and right sort of spin, in a way. No back spin on this guy, so, or no, was it power type moves with the bottom strip there. I'm guessing that's a way to, like, weaken him or whatever. But it doesn't really matter too much, because I don't think you really want to be using this guy too much in battles. You still get that nice power boost, you're just not getting the really good version of like a power boost with it being on the bottom. Because back spins are still pretty useful, but they're not the most useful thing. So it's time to build our power block thing. And this is still like one of the most useless parts to me in this whole like little line of the Crossfight era stuff. Is the power blocker, which let's make sure to actually put this on this time around. Ha ha ha. Remember, we almost forgot this last time on the last build we did. But this is such a useless piece to me, and a weird... The idea is it's supposed to, like, increase power by, like, if you just leave it on a table or whatever. It's like a safety measure type design. Which, hey, makes sense. It's... You want to protect the children. But I'm like, I don't think this really protected the children in a decent way. It's like... weird design. I'm like, we ain't protecting the children that well this time around. I always forget how to build these things as well, because like they're such weirdly designed like pieces, because it just is meant to like be held all together by gravity until you click it all together. So what I recommend is taking the back half, putting this little centerpiece in there, and then you just want to layer this on top. So, let's see. You want to avoid kind of touching a lot of it for a bit. Okay, there we go. Just kind of snaps into place easily. These little pegs going through the holes. And there we go. So just a very nice build thing. And now we have to take the wonderful piece and just snap it on in through this whole fun. Which... does this one even do anything? I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm like, huh. That one is actually very weirdly done. Like, huh, that's such a weird little mechanism. But yeah, you just clip it on in. So this actually reminds me of the Crash line of B-Daman stuff. Where, yeah, these little pieces that can just come unattached, and they have little flip switches to hold them all in. Crash is way more uses those a lot more often than the Crossfight does. Because in Crash they use them for like the front barrel piece and like the back like trigger pieces and everything. And the wonderful world of Crash, you only get to deal with it once for these little power block things, which kind of seem useless. I don't know if they actually really increase power, to be honest. But, they're just kind of there. It's one of those weirder mechanisms where you're just like, that's okay, I guess. And I just realized we don't have the little sticker thing for that right there. So I guess Korea never had the, the arcade game, because there's no little sticker here for the trigger. So, because you're not using this in the arcade version of the game, you have to go reprint those stickers for yourself. Because I don't even think they come on the sheets at all. You have to actually make your own versions. Though, I don't think that matters too much, because I don't think the arcade game is even supported anymore for like an online basis or whatever. So, it's time to get to our favorite part of the build here, though. So, we want to put in the head first, because usually we have way better luck of putting in the head pieces in. So, let's find all of our wonderful head pieces. They're kind of just strewn around here. So, let's get to the fun of building this head here. So, it all just kind of pegs in all nicely. So, you just want to find all of the little peg points. Push it all in together. Creates a weird sort of headpiece there. I probably should have trimmed that better. Ooh, I don't know if that will accept the one thing. If it doesn't, then we probably have to trim it a bit more. Yeah, we do. Okay. So, we're going to trim that up. Where is the knife? We're doing this on live camera action here. Let's see. All I have to do is get rid of that excess plastic right there. So we're just going to sit down, take the knife, and just gently take off the excess. Make sure you're really careful while doing this. If you have better clippers, make sure you actually use them properly. I guess I didn't clip that properly when I was doing it. A lot of times this is what I'm doing, is just slowly trimming pieces. You want to be very careful while doing this, because you can't add plastic back, really. Well, you can add plastic back, but it's not easy to do so. So be super careful while building this type of stuff. And just not try to take off too much. As long as we can get the piece back on there, and then we're fine. And there we go. Piece fits on very nicely. Nice, cool little piece. I love how it's keeps up with the bird aesthetic very well. And there you go. Now, I'm not going to do trimming that often on camera, because if I ever mess up, I don't want to have blood on camera by accident. So that's the main reason why I don't do it too often. What is it? Come on. Ah! Well, I guess we can easily just plop in the head this way. Let's see, can we get the head in all nicely? There we go. I guess that'd be our nice enough moment. I don't know why this head is wanting to get in my way so much today. Usually these kind of clip in very nicely. Okay, there we go. The head is in! What is it? Ah, come on, stay up. And there we go. Got the head in. Usually when I recommend building the cores, I do recommend just kind of putting the head in as part of the core process. You can sit there and squish the plastic pieces down, but not my favorite move to do. Especially when these two front halves are still very loose in there, loose and everything. So you might as well just insert the head while you're putting the two cores together. You can do the other method. It doesn't really matter what you do, to be honest, but I think it's a bit easier to just have whatever pieces in whatever way. So, first up, let's get all this stuff. Oh. You get the all little arm pieces in. Because, ooh boy, this is not going to stay that well together till we have a screw in there. Which... there we go, okay. So take our little screw piece, and we're just gonna plop it, and come on. Not wanting to twist today, is it? Like, come on, twist in there. Nice part is this one is a way better screwdriver thing, so I'm not having to deal with the weird plastic phenomenon nonsense. It is not wanting to stick in there, though. That is for sure wanting to argue with me, weirdly enough. It is very weird. Usually these pieces don't like arguing with me in this sort of fashion. Yeah, 'cause the idea is this piece is just supposed to fit in and then you just pop it on out, but try a different screw real quickly. Or maybe we'll try the different side first. Or try the legs, which the legs have their own little gimmick piece, and trying to avoid that part first, but just so that we can have all this kind of smothered together. I know these pieces are supposed to go in like this. Why are they fighting me so heavily? Am I putting these on wrong? Nope, I'm not. Okay. Making sure I'm like, okay, there we go. Don't know why that one was so much fighting me on that whole little concept there. Okay. Once you get like the first parts screwed in, these come way better to deal with. I say that, but this one is really wanting to fight me today on weird little gimmicks. So, we can finally put in the other side, which these pegs don't really hold the body together, the ones that are on the core itself. They're just kind of there, to be honest. I feel like they molded this wrong in a way, but I know they didn't. They're just being really weird. Come on, moment of grabbing and just twisting on in. Okay, is that gonna finally just fit in nicely? Finally, okay. So we got all the pieces nicely fit in there. And now let's get to the legs, which have a nice, weird little gimmick thing. So first off, let's put in the ramp piece that goes inside. Which, making sure that I have this all properly set in. I'm like, sure. There we go. So, there's a little thing. It's meant to just do whatever sloping mechanism you want to do, because the idea is if you push it downwards, then you do that. But it could fit on the B-Daman in two styles. So you got this weird, like, backward style, which sort of works nicely. It kind of keeps the trigger very in-centered. And then you got the other style, which you flip the legs the other way. And you have this nice little rotating gimmick here. So let's try the rotating gimmick, to be honest. Because that's like the whole purpose of this B-Daman, is to have like a weird little gimmick piece. So let's try it out. Let's see what this is all about, because you know by this point it's not going to shoot straight anymore. Oh, come on. I don't like that feel. Did I break it? No, it didn't. Okay, making sure. Did not like that feeling. I was like, ooh, that did not feel right. So we're going to put the strip in the middle, so as long as you keep that in the center area. Now let's take our cool little marble. Or I guess before we do that, we got that cool little look of the guy. Very interesting design. And we're going to zoom out the camera, so ignore the mess that we've already caused from the Drift Jacker himself. Move all the pieces out of the way. So, drop a marble in, and the concept is you're supposed to just have them tilted down like that, pretty much. And then you're just supposed to shoot the marble, and there you go. So, that was a straight shot, pretty much, so let's try tilting the barrel to, what is it? The left side or whatever. Trying to make sure don't want to swap out my directions. But, so let's see how the curve gimmick does on this. Which, ooh, it does actually curve pretty nicely in a way. Don't think it curves too great. So, we had it curve the other direction. So I guess let's see if we can get it to curve the other way around. So it should be coming this side now. But I think there's too much power to it, so I guess see if we could get a gentle shot. So we're going to try moving the camera back a bit, and let's see. It does spin the marble, actually, so you can actually see it spinning in a sort of way. The gimmick sort of works. I don't know if it's the best gimmick. I guess we could try the basic straight shot method, though. So, you gotta take out the little leg pieces here. It is cool that you can have this sort of much customization on this guy. Because a lot of Crossfight ones don't usually have this much customization with their legs. At most, you can give them like rollers and stuff like that. Or in the case of, was it Gervais? The original Gervais had wheels in his leg, and then the sequel, Sonic Gervais, had marbles in his feet, which gave some really cool little gimmicks. A lot of times they had like roller accessories that attached to certain ones, but those usually attached to like the back of the character. So this one does not do that. But there is our cool little marble. So here's the trigger mechanism on this side. It sort of keeps the trigger in a very straight method. So it kind of gives a sort of accuracy to when you push the trigger. This does seem like it gets in the way in a bit though. So see, because no, not as badly. Okay, so if I had a decent way to set up like, what is it? Speed challenge, I would so do that, but that is not the current. I'm not in the current best of ways of doing that. And this is more meant for just doing like little build areas. So let's try out the accuracy though of this guy. He is very comfortable to use. You can easily sit your hands down in a way. Have your fingers right here, and then just have like the rest of your hand just kind of envelop him. And you sort of get a cool little accuracy thing with this little feather right here. So got a nice little sort of accurate B-Daman. Not too powerful, I say. You do sort of feel the spin though. And that was just a straight short shot in a not straightforward way. Let's try actually the marble shot spinning here in a way. So this one should do a bit of a backspin, so it should actually come back to us in a way. So we'll put out my hand here. And yep, there we go. So it does actually come back to you in a much more nicer way. Yeah, there we go. So the idea of a backspin is, at least in Crossfight, it made a lot more sense, because in Break Bomber, you can easily sit down and lose all your marbles. So with backspinning, the idea was it would hit the target and then roll back to you, which made a lot more sense in that way, instead of, probably showed off here actually with the target shots here. So these aren't the greatest target shots. I probably need to start bringing over my better target shot pins, but let's see if I can do it with this one. So you sort of saw it in that way, because it hit the pin, but it tried rolling back. This isn't the greatest way of showing it off, but the idea of backspinning is so that you can just retrieve your marble, which works very well in a game of Break Bomber, where you're trying to conserve your marbles in a way to where your opponent isn't trying to like win every, get all the little red brick areas. Because you want to conserve them marbles, you want to save them up. And with the left and right spin, they kind of just do whatever, to be honest. I don't think they really have much of a purpose in Break Bomber. You probably get, more use out of them in like Vertigo spin and stuff like that, where it's just a constantly spinning platform in a way. You probably also get a decent use out of it in a game of, the Puck or whatever? The B-Daman Puck? Don't know if I have one near me currently. I do not. But, there's pretty decent uses on this guy. This guy would probably come way more in handy in a game of Break Bomber where you are trying to conserve your marbles in the best of ways. The gimmick kind of works, kind of doesn't. It's a very interesting idea. I would have to sit down and do a lot more testing with him, to be honest. This isn't really a review of this guy, it's just a little let's build and like observation of him. Now he's a cool little B-Daman. The gimmick here with the barrel is really unique. It does do a lot of really cool concepts with that. I feel it's not double shot really compatible. At most, I think, because it doesn't, push the marble down in a barrel. You can probably get it to, actually, in a way. Let's see if I can. Yep, there we go. So it does have the little Koenig Cerberus thing. So the hold parts inside is meant to hold 2 marbles. So the idea, if I can show y'all, so we're going to put 2 marbles in there. You see how it sort of sits on the top or whatever? So you want to push this in. Okay. So you want to put one in, and then you want to put another one in. And the idea is you want to just gently push the one to the front. So there we go. So we gently pushed the one marble up front, and then it took in the other marble, which... Or no, it didn't, huh? Kind of weird gimmick how that's working. Trying to figure it out. I'm like, It does do the, double shot thing, though, by the looks of it. So the idea is you would probably, let's see. Yep, it does, okay. So very easily, you can do quick shots very quickly with this guy. So the idea is you'd have one, you can load it up to the base of the thing, which is meant to hold it, which is why it does a weird, like, little double hook on there. And then you can have another one drop in, which as you see there, as it did a full-on drop in there. So that means this guy can contain 2 marbles. You get a nice little shot with both of them. Sorry with the outside noises, but it's okay currently. Don't know what people are doing. But there you go, you get 3 marbles loaded in. So you got one for the front, which you can see very nicely in there. Very cool looking. You got one in the secondary loading area that's held into the teeth, and then we got a top one right there. So the idea is you'd sit down and just be here. And just easily just go whoop. Very cool little gimmick there. This is very much based off Koenig Cerberus, so he had the same sort of gimmick. It is cool to see this whole idea being kind of reintroduced in a way. Don't know if it could do double shots that nicely. I guess we could try. Let's see if we can get a double shot in here. Not that great at doing double shots, by the way, so I am sorry for y'all having to probably sit here and watch this. But let's see. With a double shot, you're wanting just a lot of power. Let's see if I can get the double shot in. We're going to try doing this in a more weird fashion, I guess. I'm going to do it like this, because this is going to give us a weird goalie type system. Not great at double shots, but I want to see if I can get the... Because a double shot is you just have to hardly push both of them at the same time. So it should do like a cool like little twin shot type thing. Let's see if I get this to happen though. It sort of worked that way. I don't think it works the best. Like, was it Twin Drowseros? But it's cool that you can sit there and load up 2 of them at the same time. See if I can get the twin shot to happen. Nope. You get speed shots pretty quickly, though. So if you're very good at, like, speed shooting, you can very much get the, magazine loading pretty much set and done in there. See if I can... Ready, set. So yeah, you can actually. Sweet. So you saw there, both of the marbles went in a straight line, very close to each other. So it's a very cool way of doing a double shot. This isn't the best way of doing a double shot, because there isn't much power to it. It is not, like, really much built for power. It's very much just built for, like, trick shots or whatever. But that's still a very cool thing, and for, like, Break Bomber and stuff like that, that does come with a very unique system and just a very unique design. And with a purpose of, like, holding marbles or whatever, you can hold 3 marbles in this guy. That is already an insane amount of power for a B-Daman. So you can have one, like, preloaded. Let's see if I can get the thing in there. Okay. So you can have one preloaded at the front, one in the back, and then you already have another one just already inside there. And then if you had a magazine, you have up to like 40 marbles, which, or was it like 43 marbles in there? I'm thinking it's about that much. I'm trying to remember how many marbles was it. I own the Dry Spinning Tornado magazine, and then I own another magazine. So you could get like a decent amount of marbles in this, dude. Just to have immediate like double. Oh, as it pops out. Gotta make sure to push that marble into the front at the. Trying to see if I get it in there. There we go. You do have to actually make sure that front one is going in there though, but it is a very interesting idea. So you can actually have the power of doing one shot at a time with another shot, or if you are skilled enough to do double shots in a way. See if I can get that one marble to be pushed up front very well. Wait, Sorry, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, ooh, let's see if I can get this in the second grip hand thing. There we go. Or if you're very good at double shots, then you can easily just go do that. For double shots, it requires the power push, but for just single shots, you just do a gentle push or whatever. Kind of limits the power of this guy, but it's still very cool for trick shots and stuff like that. So enjoy what this B-Daman can do. It's a very unique B-Daman. This isn't a review. Like I said, I've not sat down and like used this in any competitive environment yet. But overall, really cool B-Daman, and I guess give him a shot. At some point I'll try doing a review. I need to grab a Beast PvE though, so that I can start like record power or whatever. And I've been trying to figure out a good way to test accuracy, because I don't think I have a decent enough way to test accuracy yet, and that's probably another issue. But for right now, this Let's Build at least gives a sort of generalized idea of what's all going on with this guy. But thank you all for watching, and sorry for the really long video. I didn't mean to go on a whole little trick shot type expedition here to figure out how this guy works in every facet of the way. But that's pretty much it for now, so thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.